down. Last stream building this one. 3 bags left. I just realized I didn't even bring the actual set in. I should do that. 1 second. I'll go grab the set. Considering that that's the whole point of it. But let me first bring up the, there we go. Let me go get the actual build. All right. The Shire. I'll just put it over here for now. And the additional thing, but there's 3 bags left to go. And yeah, that's it. Actually, most of the minifigures in the set are surprisingly in these last couple ones. You only had I think 4, the other 9 in the first 12, and then all the rest of them are all here right at the end. So we've got the Proudfoots now. I think these are definitely some of the more exciting ones of the set. First time getting these guys, so always exciting there. But yeah, the first thing looks like it's going to be the tent, and then the tree maybe, and then there's another side build that I don't entirely remember what it is, but it's something. But yeah, that's that is that. The tent is, I guess, sort of exciting for the fact that it has that really cool printed cloth piece. That's certainly exciting. But I'm expecting this one to be a bit of a short stream, because I don't think this is going to take all that long to finish off what is left with this set. But it's been a fun one so far. I've enjoyed it. It's been a fun time building this, and overall I think I'm pretty happy with the final thing. I think I already liked it when I saw the pictures, but I like it even more now. And it's been a good build, and it's been a fun one. Next week's stream, next week's build, I believe, actually it will be the UCS Slave 1, Django's Slave 1, which I'm quite excited to build, and should be a fun time building that one. I think my plan is to just build it over one stream on May 4th. Don't know entirely which time or what time of the day that stream's gonna be. Sort of whenever I get back. But yeah, building Django's Slave 1 next stream. But now it's time to finish this one off with the first of the builds being the tent, which should be a nice one. I'm excited to get the Merry and Pippin figures from these last couple bags, and there will also be Rosie. I think is the other figure that's still missing from this one. All right, and now none of these parts are really in place, which is interesting. It'll be interesting to see how they get everything lined up here. Sort of all over the place at the moment. But the side builds, I guess this includes the not exactly great looking tree that's included in this set. I really enjoyed the Shire build itself, but these side builds, or at least the main one, is definitely not the best looking thing that I've ever seen in a Lego set. It's quite there's a whole lot of plates, it seems. All right. Oh, that's how it's gonna all be lined up. Simple enough. And I like this tent build's actually kind of fun. It's so far interesting to see how they build the structure of this. The last time I feel like I built something at least similar to this would have been from the Lone Ranger, I think, with the teepee that was in those sets that at least had a cloth piece like these, and that feels like the last set to me that I built something somewhat similar to this. So that was I enjoyed that theme. But it was a solid theme, one that I certainly enjoyed. I think I have, actually no, there's one set I think I'm missing, and maybe a poly bag from the theme. It was a fun little one-off theme with some pretty cool sets, and that is going to be the tent's structure. Now that is pretty stable. They made something quite stable with this tent. It's nice to see, and I think it's about done now. There's not, except for these legs, there's not a ton else added to this part. It's interesting that they put the Proudfoots in this bag. I feel, and then they have Merry and Pippin in the next one. Feels like those two would have fit a bit better with this bag, but it is what it is. All right. The third of the 4 legs, and some ball joints, and then I think it's clipping in the actual tent fabric pieces. I quite like the fabric pieces that they included in this set. There's 2 of them, and they're quite nice. They're all in these last 3 bags as well. I cannot remember at all what the other side build. I know there's the tree, and there's this tent, and there's something else. Unless the tent or the tree takes up 3 or 2 bags. Yeah, I've not a clue. I can't remember at all what I don't have the box near me, so can't check that. It's something. All right. And the ball joints in there. This thing is really quite well built. It's actually a pretty impressive build. I think it's quite strong. All right, and now just getting this bit properly situated on there. I quite like this thing. It, like the cloth piece, it's interesting. Like there's not that many included in Lego sets, so it doesn't feel as Lego-like as certain things, but it's pretty cool, and it's well built, and the fabric pieces all come together quite nicely. Pretty solid there. Oh, so I guess there's a few little additional things here. A table with Bilbo's cake. But not too bad. This table build is certainly quite a simple one. But it's alright. Alright. And now it's on to the cake. Some decorations. I was wondering why all these flower pieces were included in them, but they're just bits of icing for the cake, I guess. I don't know if there's like a bunch of tables in this one or not. I really have no idea. I don't remember at all what the other side builds are included in this one. Well, that's a cool piece, adding a bit of detail to the frosting. Barad-dûr didn't have much in the way of side builds. I don't think Rivendell did either. But this one does have a decent view with the Gandalf's cart and the tree and this tent. Certainly a lot more than some of the others. Alright, and the last flame is in there. And there is Bilbo's cake. And now it's on to the tree. Or at least what I believe is the tree. Definitely might be something else. I think this might just be another additional little side build, and then it's onto the tree for the last one. Alright, Pippin and Merry. There's a lot of dual molded legs with brown for most of these ones. The white printing on this torso at least is pretty nice. And now, oh nice, the white printing on the dark green torso actually looks quite nice. That's good to see. Quite like the face prints on these guys. I think they look quite nice. I like a lot of the torso prints included in this set. And then you've got the extra hair pieces as well. a lot of extra minifigure accessories throughout the set, just by extra legs and hair pieces and different accessories. Quite a few of them throughout the set. Now they're dragon firework. We're in dark red. Oh, that's brown. Never mind. Alright. Oh, that's interesting. Seeing him take off the firework and leave behind a little patch of burnt grass. There's certainly a lot of little things like that in the set. I'm overall quite pleased with it. I think it's a very nice one. Definitely, I think, even maybe the worst of the bunch, even though I don't know if it is. I actually really am happy with it, and almost more so than Verador. But if the consensus is that this one is the worst one, even this one feels better than other things from other themes. All right, the firework. Okay, now it's onto the tree. Just building the base of it. Does it spin? Oh no, okay. So this is some sort of feature so that you can turn around Bilbo to act like he's disappeared with the ring. There's a few cool functions like that throughout the set, and I'm expecting this one to be interesting as well. The fireplace one specifically from the third section of the build is quite a cool little function. Really nice one. Oh, and there's also the firework dragon as well. I forgot that that's included in the set. All these side builds are certainly interesting, but I definitely like just the main build itself. And I guess I wouldn't have minded that all these side builds just weren't included, and a little bit was, or whatever these parts add up to, just stuck onto the set itself. But I guess the side builds add some depth and other areas to the set. I don't really have too much of an issue of them being included. They're fine little additions. Definitely not the most exciting parts of the set, but they're fine nonetheless. It's definitely some of the gear functions here are certainly some of the most colorful aspects of the set so far, but there's actually been a decent amount of different colored parts throughout the set, so it's not all like certain themes. At least the Jango Fett Slave 1 that I'm quite excited to build next week won't be all gray like most Star Wars sets. I'll have something a little bit more color than that. But I'm very excited to build that set and see what the final product looks like. Love the look of it so far, so hoping it lives up to that, and should be pretty good. those gears lined up. Like all these barrels, it reminds me of the escape set from the Hobbit with the larger barrels. Can't remember the last time that I saw that piece in a set. In my head, I can really only think of a few cases where it was used, but I'm sure it's been used on like a train set or something like that somewhat recently. But I think of like the barrels and the Joker, the purple ones and the Joker roller coaster from quite a few years ago. That's one that comes to mind with those large barrels, and of course the escape set. But there's the small ones here. All right. The base of this tree is coming together quite quickly. This last section of it's the shortest instruction manual, so it's sort of expected there, but it's certainly coming together quite quickly and easily. But I think it's looking all right so far. But you end the build with probably the worst part of it, that tree, which I love the set, and I think it's quite good, a lot better than I think how it's been received so far. But that tree build is definitely not one of those good parts of the build, or at least from the pictures I've seen from it. I guess I haven't built it yet, so can't really say anything bad about it yet, but it'd be interesting to see if hopefully it looks any better. But it's definitely not the best looking thing, especially with like the main build itself being relatively quite smooth with all the more smooth green parts of it. Would have been maybe nice to see that be a little bit smoother. All right. Okay, lost one of the 5 barrels you get. Barrel battle pack here in this bag. Alright, I think that is about that for the base of this thing. Now, are these microphones? I didn't think they had microphones in the Shire. But it seems like they do, at least in this. Interesting. Alright. And I think that, oh, okay, not microphones. At this point in the build, it looks like it's just like microphones, like Bilbo's about to go up there, and they're just blaring out well, I guess it'd be more speakers than they would be microphones. It'd be a little bit useless. This is just for Bilbo's birthday banner. looks quite good. There it is. And it can turn quite easily. Go as fast as you'd like with it. And I guess Bilbo. Now I'm just gonna, because I have the other one sitting there, just use this version of Bilbo. He's there, and then he's not. It's a cool little feature. I like it. All right, now time to finish it off. And the next minifigure for me is probably the one I'm most excited about from this set, and that is Rosie. Just for the fact that she's never been in a set before, so it's sort of exciting. Like, the Rivendell figures were fine, but there wasn't much in the way of new or special. Barad-dûr had some new orcs, which was kind of cool, but we'd seen orcs before, the Mouth of Sauron before, but then it also had Sauron himself, which was an amazing figure, probably the best figure of the year for this set, and like, I don't think you can say that for the Proudfoots or Rosie here, but I do like getting these new characters in these sets, so I think the minifigure lineup in this one for me is better than Rivendell's lineup, just for the fact that there's nothing special in there really, except for maybe the old Gloin figure, which is kind of cool. This one for me probably ranks in the middle, just because you get the Proudfoots and Rosie, and some cool outfits for the hobbits. And then Barad-dûr for me is the best of the lineup, minifigure wise, just for Sauron being an amazing figure, one of the best minifigures I think I've really ever seen. It's an amazing figure, and the orcs as well. I thought were quite nice, and I guess the Mouth of Sauron was a fine little inclusion. Frodo and Sam were not so much. They definitely weren't that great, being just reuses of their outfits from the from Rivendell. Would have been nice to see their actual outfits from the scene, not just the helmets put on them. But yeah. So I think that's sort of where this one lies for me when it comes to the minifigure department. And build department, I think this probably is the lowest for me. I think Rivendell is probably the highest. Like, that build is just amazing. Like, I thought Barad-dûr was great for what it is, but like, this one is definitely the more colorful and exciting build of the two. Like, really, except for the eye right at the top, it's just a tall black tower. So I think build wise, I think for me this one's also probably in the middle. So yeah, I guess that just overall puts it right at the middle, and I don't know which one I like the best. I would say out of overall for me, the builds on these sets are more important to me than the figures, just for the fact that in most cases I've already got the minifigures, and in some cases, like the elves especially, better versions of those figures. So the minifigures just aren't as a big deal to me, unless you start getting Eowyn and other characters like that, Faramir, Denethor, things like that. Unless you start including those, like, the minifigures just aren't that important to me. So it's definitely the builds for these. So I think Rivendell is overall the best one to me. Then I'd probably put Barad-dûr. Then I think I still would put this one last place, just because I think overall it's just not not up to the other ones, but I still really enjoyed the build, and I'm really happy with it, and I think it's better than what I thought I was getting with this one. I think overall it's quite solid, and I'm quite pleased with it. But this tree is certainly a bit on the rougher side when it comes to Lego tree builds. It's now I need to check to make sure am I oh yes, I think I am. There's supposed to be 5 there. That solves the issue of the height of this tree. There's something about it though that I don't absolutely just dislike. No, I don't think I built this correctly. I don't think there should be a gap in there. One second. Oh, there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I had 6 there. Should be the extra. The other brick is right there. All right. Tree stump there, and then there we go. That lines up much better. Yeah, this is definitely it's a bit of a rough tree build. At the same time, there's something about it that I somewhat like, but it's a rough one. I don't entirely know. I feel like this definitely could have been a bit better, but at the same time, you wouldn't, I guess, have wanted too many pieces going into a side build. So there's that. And a bunch of these leaves now. One to here. Oh, okay. One there. One there. 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 And there we go. Okay. The next one, which is the same design as the previous one. And I guess there's a bunch of lights that need to be put onto it. This certainly not the most exciting part of the build. I think I enjoyed building the Shire quite a bit more than I have building this tree portion of it. All right, now the lights. I love doing these type of lights. They're always so fun to try to line up. I guess that actually really doesn't matter all that much, and it's probably better not to completely line them up, because then it looks a little bit more like there's some lived in aspects of it to it. It's a little bit more alive than if it was just all in the same line. All right, same colors of the lights. I'm expecting next week's stream is going to be a long one. Building the slave one. There's not a ton of stickers with that one, so that won't slow up the process all that much. All right, and there we go. That looks all right. Oh, that looks a lot better there. Actually, building it as it should be. All right, now I think it is the same build for the leaves as the last one. I guess there's one more set, probably for the top of it. It's not too terrible, but it's certainly not the. I'm assuming it's more the exposed studs on it that makes it not the most appealing looking tree. I think if it was probably a bit more flat, it's so rectangular, it's a bit odd looking, and I think that's probably the main thing, is just but I guess they wanted to make it tall, and in that you sort of make this thing just really slender and to not take up too many pieces away from the set. You've got to just use these larger plates. Alright. And the last one here, which once again is the same build for the leaves, just slightly different attachment onto the tree. All right. Yeah, that's it's a bit rough looking. Now I've got a bunch of extra leaves here. Oh, yes. I need to do another one, that's why. That answers the question as to why there was just a bunch of, specifically 5 extra leaves, the number that you use for each branch. That makes sense, and that actually, this will improve it a little bit, because if I kept it like it was right now, it definitely looks even worse. It's stable. Doesn't fall apart when you knock over it. So that's, or knock over it. My goodness. Yeah. It's a bit rough. I don't like. It's just a long rectangle, which looks a bit weird for a tree to just be that straight. There's no real organic shapes used in it. But I think I'd rather it look like that than I would it take up that much of the piece count, because it's certainly not, for me, the most critical part of the set. So it seems all right. It seems like something that you'd see just sort of in the back of like a Lego video game, just sort of in the background. And that's sort of what it feels like. And I guess that's more of the point of it, is it is more of a background piece than it is a focal point of the set. It should always be the actual Shire build, so that makes makes a fine amount of sense. Now the dragon, which is coming together very, very quickly. This is a very, very small but effective build. It feels like it's catching what it needs to well enough. And that is that. I like how you can position it on this clear stand. I think that's quite nice. All right, that should just fit right there. And I guess in a way, like I guess they wanted to have that dragon firework positioned onto the tree, and in order to do that, you sort of need to make the tree almost stand-like, which is what they've done here. It's very, very much like a stand. Oh, and that will go there. Oh, okay. And that there. The little tail. And that is that. Oh, and it can just go onto here. And with that, it is the entire. Now, honestly, it's not because because the tree itself is placed onto the base, you don't see the actual tree, like the bark of it, all that, like just the plain plated area. I don't think it's as bad. If you just had it by itself, it definitely wouldn't look great, but onto the base with the Happy Birthday Bilbo sign, it's not as bad. All right. And that is the Shire. Once Bilbo's there to welcome his unexpected guests at the door. Actually, it's definitely quite tight in there to fit anything, at least at the door. All right, that's the Shire. I'm quite pleased with it. The tree is definitely a bit rough, but it's not actually as bad as I thought it was once you place it on the base. By itself, it definitely doesn't look great, but once you added the dragon firework and the fact that it sort of needed to be a stand if you're gonna have the dragon, makes sense. So yeah, it's not too bad. Some nice minifigures in this one, some cool printed parts, and then the main build itself I'm quite pleased with, especially the exterior of it. So that's the Shire. Thanks for watching this quite short stream, and anyone watching it later, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one next week, building Django's Slave One. So yeah, that's that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.